What's up guys, Carmine here, and I just finished watching episode 3 for House of the Dragon, and I must say, this is probably my favorite episode so far. And before we get into it, as always, shout out to HBO for that wonderful review copy. You guys are awesome. Now, of course, I can't go into too much detail considering this is the non-spoiler review, and as such, the video will be a bit short, but I can say with confidence that this will be a lot of people's favorite episode, probably even after the season is over. Let's get to it. Before that, this video is brought to you by Atlas VPN, the fantastic service designed with privacy and security in mind. Not only does Atlas VPN keep you protected while browsing and shopping online, its blazing fast speeds and easy-to-use interface allow you to use the internet with confidence by protecting your IP from nasty scammers. They even have an Apple and Android app for on-the-go protection. And if you're like me and you want to catch the latest episode of Better Call Saul, but it's not available in your country, that's okay, because with Atlas you can switch on over to Netflix from the UK and catch up on the latest episodes. It even works with Hulu and HBO too, and now that Game of Thrones is back with House of the Dragon, this is a perfect opportunity you can't miss out on. Right now, they're running a huge discount, and if you use my link in the description below, you can get 82% off a 3-year plan plus 3 months for free. That's little more than a cup of coffee a day for your peace of mind. Once again, definitely check out Atlas VPN and be sure to head on over to the description below and use my link to get 82% off a 3-year plan plus 3 months for free. Thank you, Atlas. Now, I have to say this off the bat, this episode was great. I would even argue that it was better than the last two, and I think it's because a lot of what I missed from Game of Thrones came back in some ways you'd never expect, and it also reinforced my belief that the episode 1 and 2 should have been one giant premiere movie. And of course, a good chunk of what we see in the episode is original material, not in the books, and those were actually some of my favorite parts. And yes, I know, some of you who have been with me for a long time, you guys know that one scene I mention every time I discuss original non-book material. That was great, so be prepared to roll your eyes, but we do get something like that here. For those of you who are new to the channel, I'm talking about the Robert Cersei scene from season 1 episode 5 of Thrones where they discuss their marriage. It's an original scene not in the books and was only really included to fill time, and it's amazing. I talk about it all the time. And we kind of get something like that here in this episode, and I really liked it. But I will admit, it doesn't have the same impact as the Robert Cersei stuff, but it was still pretty good nonetheless. Another thing I should let you guys know is that you can expect another time jump in this episode, but it's a little bigger. Actually, much bigger. If you guys saw the preview for episode 3, you know what I'm talking about. But for those of you who haven't seen it, then I won't go into too much detail, but be prepared for that. I know some reviewers who got 6 episodes in advance weren't a fan of the time jumps, but personally I don't mind. But that may be because I read the books and was expecting it. So I'd be curious to know what casual fans who didn't read the books think of it. So if that's you watching this right now, be sure to come back and let me know what you guys thought. But of course, we gotta talk about the battle sequence we get in this episode. Obviously, this is a thing that's been brewing since the first episode, and even if you didn't catch the previews, you surely saw the trailers where we got glimpses of it. I can report with confidence that the battle stuff was great, although I did see some reviewers making comparisons to Battle of Bastards, and even the Field of Fire battle in Season 7 with Dany and the Lannisters, and I wouldn't go that far, but I can see why they'd compare it. Battle of Bastards had a lot of intricate elements to that fight that you won't really find here, but it's still pretty good nonetheless. Though I must say, I find it a bit weird that showrunner Miguel Sputnik, who directed the Hard Home and Battle of Bastard episodes, some reason chose not to direct this one, and I'll go more into detail on if that's a good thing or not in the spoiler review. There is one thing I didn't like, and I think you guys may agree with me when the episode comes out, but there was one thing about the battle stuff that just didn't sit well with me, and I don't like this kind of stuff. And it was mostly one specific character. Obviously, I can't go into too much detail, but there was one thing about it that I felt was a bit of a letdown after all that build-up, but that doesn't take away of how good everything was. That aside, I really enjoyed some of the slower moments we get with King Viserys and Rhaenyra, who I would argue have been the MVPs this entire show so far, and that continues in this episode too. Paddy Considine and Millie Alcock, who play the king and the princess, knock it out of the park once again, but they've become kind of like my favorite characters so far, and I don't think that's gonna change. It might, but so far I really like them. However, I do know that some of you guys would argue the real stars of this episode will be Corlys and Daemon, and yeah, they were pretty great too. Everyone does a great job, as always, and I'm really happy with how the episode turned out. And of course, because I know some people are going to ask, yes, it was much more fun and enjoyable than the first 2 episodes of Rings of Power. But guys, that is it for today. I'll be doing my review in the coming days with an Easter egg video out tomorrow as well, so be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all that. And like the video, it helps out a lot, and be sure to let me know your thoughts down below. I might feature it in my next episode review video. But as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Have a good one.